Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, of course, we have a lot of juicy crypto news to cover. So if you guys are excited for that, make sure you press that like button to help me out. Alright, so first, most important things first. If you're over in South Korea, you might be lucked out a little bit. Why? Well, there's a couple of very important things happening over for Luna, over in South Korea only. Two things I think that are most prominent. One, Korean exchanges are actually being held accountable for the whole Luna ordeal. And two, the Korean police have said, hey, all that money that the Luna guys or the foundation or whatever, all those guys have, yeah, you're gonna freeze that real quick, all right? Every single penny that they got, we want it frozen to investigate it properly. South Korea is not taking this stuff up lightly, and they're investigating every single freaking corner. And apparently, again, the news just came out there holding the exchanges accountable partially. And we shall see how that is going to work in terms of compensation and whatnot. But just know that the story is actually getting more interesting as time goes on, not less. Having said that, over in the US, things can also change quite drastically. Apparently, a US senator just said Terra investors may be victim of fraud. Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey believes that that the failed blockchain project may actually have been a scam. Now, at the end of the day, we can't necessarily call it a Ponzi because, well, it depends. Was it a pyramid scheme? Was it a Ponzi? It really depends on your perspective of these things. We can surely go ahead and say it was just an ambitious idea that failed. But if you stretch it far enough, you can surely come away with the fact that it was a Ponzi scheme with the initial intent also to just barely work well enough so that people believed it to make money on people. It's really, really hard to say what Do Kwon's, the founder of Luna's intentions were. We just know that this story might get a whole lot more interesting if the US is going to take this up a little bit further. Then again, it's just one senator's opinion, which has absolutely no weight. Talking about Luna, while we're in the motion real quick, there's so much happening, man. Every single time I look on Twitter, hey, sleep on. Oh, you guys can't see that. For anybody that does not know, I just got a notification on my computer that says sleep mode on because it's in the middle of the freaking night. All right. Let me know down below in the chat box. It's not even live stream, it's just down below in the comment section what part of the world you're watching this from. Because you don't want to know what time I'm recording this at. I'm not going to say either. It's a scandalous, let's say it like that. But every single time I look over on Twitter, there's a lot of updates regarding Luna. I've, however, noticed that you guys are not so interested in all these updates anymore. You guys said, please just cover more of the XRP stuff, more of the H-bar, V-chain, just our traditional crypto stuff, and understand. But take a look at this. In contrast to popular belief that the revival plan proposed a fork of the existing chain, it's about creating a new one, the team said in a tweet thread. The Terra team clarified recently, a few community members, including some from Terraform Labs, have referred to the proposed new blockchain in Prop 1623 as a fork, as opposed to a Genesis chain. The revival plan is not proposing a fork of the existing chain, but rather the creation of a new one. And that actually makes things significantly different, mostly from the perspective that people really think now. It's not as if Luna was just half a failed attempt that they want to kind of rectify through changing up the tokenomics just a little bit to hopefully pay people back later on. He's just literally saying, all right, Luna through UST and stuff failed. I want to start a new crypto project, and for the tokenomics, I want to actually give some of this stuff away for free. But that's literally what a lot of cryptos do just to start off. So he's basically saying, you know what, let's not try to fix Luna through a fork or so, in the sense that they're going to try and make it better with a couple of exclusions. No, let's just start a completely new crypto project, try to already move a couple of users over from my previous failed project and see what happens. At the end of the day, I think this proposition makes it sound way more crooked or so. I'm not necessarily sure why he flaunts it like a good thing. Oh no, it's a new chain. We're not trying to make Luna work. We're just trying to create something completely new so that we can do this scam shenanigans all over again and just go towards a new project because that's how Do Kwon apparently works. Question mark, not an allegation, or not saying he's a scammer. Just putting up a couple of fun things for entertainment purposes. Only allegations, nothing being confirmed. Having said that, I already hinted earlier that a lot of Luna is being burned, right? Which pumped the price up a little bit. Just know that this was like an initiative by some whales to kind of manipulate it so that it would look as if it was a really significant deal, all this burning and whatnot, since people got the burn address or so. But after a little while, the majority of people start to notice, well, however much we decide to burn, however hard we try, it ain't gonna make no difference because there's just way too much Terra, and the majority of it is held by the biggest whales out there. And so as long as they don't burn a lot of it, nothing's gonna happen. And they need to burn like 99.8% or so of their holdings as well. Because if they burn 1%, if everybody burns 10%, nothing's going to change, right? We need some really significant burns. But at the end of the day, one thing you got to understand is that even a burn does not really make the biggest of differences. Why is that the case? If you really think about it, right? A burn is going to increase the price per token, sure. But it's not by definition going to increase the market cap. Usually that's increased by people's faith, trust, or expecting of like further advancements or whatnot. And again, that's the one thing that you should understand about a burn as well. The only thing that's going to happen is the token price is going to go up. Really, it's not going to add more market cap. It's not all of a sudden that Luna is going to go back up the rankings anymore if it's going to start burning coins. Right now, the market cap for Luna is not actually that low. It's still close to $1 billion or so. Even though the coins have gone down or gone up in supply by like some crazy fold, and the price has gone down by 99.999. In reality, it kind of outweighs each other. I mean, I'm not sure how much it shrank, but let's say that the market cap is down about 95% and the coins are down 99.99%. You guys can understand how that's a really significant difference, right? As again, for the coin price to go back to its previous glory, it needs to do like a 10,000x. And for the all-time high to come back in terms of market cap, it needs like a 30x. You guys understand how big a difference is. So the burn, So again, he's not completely crooked for saying this. There is something to be said about it. But people just want the old Luna back with the higher prices and the lower market cap. Then I have a little bit of info on insiders, actually. And I've shared this for the last couple of hours, I guess, through multiple... Wow, the guy, Fat Man. I was covering him a couple of days ago, and I told you guys this is the man to watch. But he had like 9,000 followers. Right now he has 40,000 in like a couple of days, which is crazy. But we have a couple of insider articles that he provided, basically from insiders at Terraform Labs, that were talking about, for example, how they basically were working together with Jump Capital to basically manipulate some stuff. And there's also a couple of other theories about things that went wrong, that lost people money, that all these insiders are coming out with basically, or that have been said about some of the people over at the team. And the fun thing is, right now, after things have collapsed, people start to all of a sudden really find out all these things that were wrong with Terra, all these things that were wrong with Luna. But again, it is too late. Then again, this is all to show you guys how messed up some things might be in the background while everything is looking good at the front, and why there's a very small chance that Luna will ever come back to the glory which it previously had, because a lot of this faith is just lost. And there's so many things which are really sketchy in the background. You can even see here, this is the last time I opened him, he had 38,000 followers. It's going really quick with this guy, man. At first, none of my people are following him. Right now, you can see it's already, I think, at like 30 or so. Well, take a look at this. I've been contacted by media. Who's the best to talk to? Bloomberg, WSJ, Fortune, not really sure, but I believe a direct line to you guys is likely the best way to communicate. No waffle, no embellishing, no hidden agendas. I'm one man posting what I believe to be true. I love this, guys. Also, some other stuff. A fully verified source close to the Luna Foundation Guard. The guys on the council voted twice during the crisis for the 750 mil and the 30,000 Bitcoin. Both were announced. The rest of the Bitcoin was transferred to TFL under the legal agreement between both parties without any votes. For context, Terraform Labs are the sole owners of the Luna Foundation Guard wallet, which again, I described to you guys as like a really big problem with the newer Luna 2.0, as the Luna Foundation Guard's wallets have not been excluded as far as I understand. Then again, if Terraforms is the sole owner of LFG, then theoretically speaking, if TFL's wallets are like blocked, then LFG by definition should also be locked. No? Or do I get that wrong? LFG advisors have no legal sway. There are only 3 official company members. 2 are TFL employees, including Do Kwon himself. More to come soon, both from this source and from LFG directly. And this is just more about why the advisors weren't asked properly and so. But just know, whistleblowers are speaking out to kind of confirm what I talked about. A verified insider and a high-level TFL advisor whistleblower. Do Kwon knows the builders are important, but it looks like he doesn't want to relinquish control. 3 major protocols were strong-armed into supporting the new fork, and many of us don't like it. Build teams negotiated a 25% stake in Terra 2, but we were forced to accept a 10% compromise and were cut out if they didn't support it publicly. A personal thought, I think the Terra community builders are an amazing, talented bunch, and they don't deserve any of what happened. And again, look at this. Can't sleep, so I'll add this. Jump Trading, which is the company, not Jump Capital, sorry for that, publicly runs validated nodes on one of Solana's key oracles, Pyth, and the Keybridge Wormhole. An employee from Jump has told me that they consider both Pyth and Wormhole to be multi-billion-dollar exit to dump on retail. Why did Jump bail Wormhole out for 320 mil? There's no such thing as a free lunch. These people are not altruistic. The bill always comes due. I don't know the exact attack vector they plan to use, and I'll try to learn more, but my best guess is large-scale MEV attack. One last thing before I go to bed. I'm sorry if I offended anyone, including the billionaires. The people have given me the honor of having the platform. I cannot misuse it. And again, in the past 48 hours, which is now a little bit more, I've been contacted by several whistleblowers. These people would like to stay anonymous and will stay anonymous. I've learned some troubling things, and there's a lot more to come. This is just very beginning. Here is some of what I can tell you. There's two things I should say real quick. One is we cannot verify this from the get-go. However, since he's such a trusted entity in the space right now, I'm going to verify or at least vouch that the majority of what he says, is quite backable because of all the knowledge that he has. But take it with a grain of salt. That is just to make sure we don't accept anything as truth that is not, beyond proven. But the contrary to that is, there's a very high likelihood that if anybody wanted to actually say some stuff, it would be towards him. And that's again a very critical point right here. There's a lot of people who have just shit to say about Do Kwon because they don't like his antics. So again, the majority of people speaking out will have negative things to say or are neutral about the matter because they just do not care. But there's a small chance that people will speak positive that have like insider information in some crazy way, shape, or form. But yeah, maybe that's just my thoughts. So he says, I know about the bailout from Jump in May 2021, and I know exactly how much you owe them every month in Luna. Hint, how many zeros in a million? I know exactly what you did to manipulate retail into losing billions on UST, but especially Luna. I know this is about Jump. I'm not sure exactly who this person is. I know who controls you behind the scenes, the president of Jump Crypto. I know your Slack group having a 14-day retention window. And Sam Bankman-Fried, I know about the 30% serum handshake deal with Jump and what you did to retail investors after. There is far more that I cannot say, but know that I know. And know that justice is coming, because this time I think you went too far. This time you messed some people up. Someone has to fight for them. And even if he takes his platform away, or people take his platform away, there'll be somebody else standing up. But damn. The people want the screenshots. The people want the screenshots. And he says, some of the screenshots are honestly pretty funny, and I wish I could share them, but my source's privacy comes first and foremost, which is why I wonder exactly, how this works. Then again, obviously, even if we do have the best of best insiders, it's indeed hard to come out and just prove them to be them, because then they probably will never come to you again, So this is very difficult, but eventually we will need some sources. Then again, we'll take it with a grain of salt right now because it all makes a lot of sense, but we shall see, because this is very freaking interesting. But yeah, a lot of other crypto news, but I'll stay with this for right now as I'm tired, and I just want to, I guess, make a Luna dedicated video here because there's just so much stuff going on. But we'll talk more about all this shenanigans tomorrow somewhere, so stick around and subscribe to the channel for more of these updates.